Hi everyone, this is Mukta Nagre over here. I'm the business head at EduVisa Services, and today we have this special session arranged just for you to give you a glimpse into Lakshmi's success. Today we have Lakshmi with us, who is having his visa approval for January 2024, and today he is here to discuss with you, share with you his experiences till now, his experiences in working with EduVisa Services, talking a bit about and giving you an insight that how you should go ahead and select some country, or how did he ended up in taking a decision of study abroad, and how he feels right now with all of the hard efforts, all of the struggle that he has been putting into for past 1 year, his dreams becoming a reality. So let's hear it from Lakshmi itself. Hi Lakshmi, how are you?
Hi, ma'am. This is Lakshmi Prakash. So I'm all just connected with EduVisa, and finally I just received my Canadian visa after the fourth attempt actually. So it was like three attempts. The process starts in the year of 2022, February. So that's where the first time I just given my IELTS. So it was the third attempt of IELTS, which was given in 2022 of February. So from where it just starts over there. I thought that would be the hardest part, which would end over there. But once after completing the IELTS, the journey starts from there actually. So it's all
Right.
about connecting with the right people and meeting the right people. That's how it just all started with. And currently, I'm quite happy about that. I just got my visa, and on the other hand, I couldn't even believe that I just got my visa. It was like a bounce back for me. Even my the parents and like they were like still now they're asking me, did you got the visa? Like what is going on? Like so I'm just waiting for my passport to be get stamped actually. So that's where it reads that it is official actually. So
Correct,
actually
correct.
just waiting for my passport to be get stamped. I mean, I believe I just submitted my passport on Monday, so it might take like 15 business days to just have my passport in hand so that I can just move away with everything. So the first place I would
Right.
like to the first place I would like to thank Raghavendra and also my dedicated counselor Ayushi. She is the one who connected me through the process and she was helping me out. So it was a great experience working with her actually. So it was like totally a difference.
That is great. So
Uh,
I want to ask you over here is that can you walk us through your basic details, like which university have you selected, and which country have you selected, and which course have you enrolled for?
yeah, in the year of 2022, basically I'll run through my profile. So I'm a
Yes.
mechanical graduate, was passed out in 2018. So after that, I was like working in a mechanical firm for an year. So
Hmm.
I couldn't break through into a mechanical firm, into a proper dedicated role. So I would call it as a career failure for me. Like I would not name it as a career failure. So and then I enrolled into different organizations into IT sector, which is a sort of non-technical IT sector, but it was on a good role. So I was able to learn a lot from them. So that it helped me to understand the corporate environment and everything. So I totally have 3.5 years of experience currently. So that's how it all started. But over a point in time, I was clear that I really wanted to do something big because I do not want. I had a career. I had this transition of mechanical to IT sector. So I feel personally, I feel that it was like it's not like what I really wanted to do in my career actually. So that's where this overall this moving abroad came in place. So on top, my father is actually like he wanted to do something big actually. So that's where like this all falls in place. And yeah,
So how did you end up selecting, like what made you decide that okay, I should go ahead and study abroad, and you've done your bachelor's here, you have this good amount of 3.5 years of working experience, and after that you thought about okay, I should go ahead and study abroad. What was the deciding factor over here?
um, my father is a constant support here. So and actually, family is a life of like he wanted to do something big. I wanted to do something big in my life, and also he was supporting me as well. And as like I had this transition of mechanical to IT, I feel like it is a career break or like a career failure for me, personally for me. But so I would term it as like that. So in order to make sure that I do something big in my life and I wanted to just break through this overall thing and I have to give some patchwork towards it. So that's where this point came in, like of moving abroad. And in India, considering the current recession and everything, like job loss and everything, like I don't want to end up here. And also the work environment in India is something totally different. So that's where I just decided that I have to do something big in my life. And over a point in time, I was looking for different countries. So the and like over a point in time, I know that Canada is a place and the destination that I wanted to get place in. I wanted to just study and then I just want to settle in. So that's how it just all falls in place. And also, I would like to mention here, like 2020, or I mean, my childhood friend, his name is Balaji. So last, like around 2020 December, he just visited India. So he ignited me the fuel of going abroad, and he actually motivated me to do all this actually. So the journey starts from there, and it just finally ended up here actually. So it was a complete journey. It was like a 2.5 years journey, I would say.
That is a great that, like, your friend actually thought of visiting and motivating you, and you taking up his advice and following through throughout.
Exactly. I don't know like where to start from actually, but I had this idea of doing something over there. But once he came that he actually booked IELTS for me, and then he just
Okay.
yeah, he just ignited the fuel inside me that you can do this and everything. And also on top, like my father was very supportive for me, and
Hmm.
I said like he just let me free that like you just do like whatever he feels like, and also you don't mind about like money, time, and everything. If you feel that like it's right, just go ahead with it. That's how it just started, and it was a constant support till now, like actually. So I mean, it's like you won't believe that I tried almost like 3 to 4 countries in the middle.
Okay.
I just started with Canada. It was straight 3 attempts. So all the 3 attempts were like a disaster. So and then again, I just took a break. I mean, 2022 December, I just got my last results on September 6, 2022. It's again, I mean, it's the visa didn't go through. So again, I just left a break and I just started concentrating on my the career, which is like what I'm doing here in my IT sector. So in the middle, I was again trying for US, and also I got an admit for Arlington University for industrial engineering. But the education loan process and everything, it's just all sorted out. But at the end, I couldn't able to get the visa slots actually. So again,
Okay.
the US thing just didn't work out. And also, I tried for Australia, and also I secured an university, and then finally, even it didn't work out for several reasons actually. So yeah, and I forget to mention here. So we were like 3 people when started with Canada, like 2022. We were like 3 people.
Hmm.
So there's a guy was trying with local consultancies, and he made 6 to 7 attempts. In the seventh attempt, it just I mean the visa was approved. So it just gave me another additional confidence for me to just to over try again. So that's
Hmm.
where. So that's why that's the reason that I really wanted to give a try for Canada. So finally, it is here.
That is great. So you say, that you have tried multiple times and there were some hiccups in the road and you never gave up, which was like commendable. But if we have to emphasize, what were the challenges that you faced in your profile, like going through this process?
Yeah, first of all, Canadian process is a straightforward process. They see because they really, I mean, we have to take the graduate course, which is leveraging to your undergraduate background. Actually, if you are a mechanical student, you have to choose something the course which is actually related to mechanical, like quality or supply chain or something like that. So we have
Right.
to prove them that like we are the right student for them. If it is a career transition, like if you're choosing other divisions like computer science or IT background or like whatever the other areas were in. I mean, where we have to truly strong them that we are a dedicated student that we could do well in the career actually. So that's where the point. That's a challenging part when it
Right.
comes to Canada. When comparing to other countries, career change is actually acceptable in US and other countries because it's just a justifying statement that we have
Hmm.
to give them to the visa officers at also in-person visa interview over there. So it is easy for us to, uh,
Right.
I can say ourselves and everything. We can just, it's a in-person interview, and we get that human touch so that we can able to convince them in a way or other actually. So it is not like the same for Canada. So only a
True.
dedicated, knowledgeable person should, get into this process. So these are all the challenges I faced, and also uh, the people who knows about Canada is actually very less in India. Also, I'd like to say that other local consultancies over there. It's like an experiment for them. A student is actually like an experiment for them. So some people, if the people's profile is very good with good CGPA and there is no career breaks, or like also if you are choosing the same career path, like I mean computer science to computer science or like whatever, so then it becomes easy for them to get into Canada than choosing other streams. They don't have to justify them as well. Like it's a clean profile actually. It's a straight profile, so it's straight shot so that they would end up getting this in Canada. So likewise for me, it's not the same for me. It's a different story. So it is actually big hassle for me, and also was a disaster for the complete 2 years for me. Over a point in time, to be very honest, like if I did not get the visa for this time, I would have ended up and I would have been like concentrated on my mini companies like on growing me as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's very interesting to know. So, how did you get to know about EduVisa services specifically?
Uh, I just got to know through a digital platform. It's on Instagram actually. It was a short reel, I believe, so I'm not sure. So I was able to see that. Actually, I had this thought process of, even back before then, I had this thought process of doing with a regulated consultant who is situated in
Hmm.
Canada. But I do not have that right contact or a right medium to reach out to them because it's everything. I mean, everything the behind falls scenes. It's like everything falls over the money and the time and. Because we from here we cannot decide that they are doing the right job, or because I had a great experience with Indian consultancies working here, so I know how they works and how like because if something goes wrong in the middle, I can just go straight to their office and then question them like what is going on, like something like that. But it is not the same with working with Canadian consultancies, which is situated in Canada. So it's a complete story. So I was a bit hesitant in the first place. And then one day I was just looking through Instagram. So I just that Raghavendra says the clip was running over there. So it was like completely different and it was so unique. So I just registered myself for a webinar. So that's how I just came to know him. That webinar actually in the first place when I was attending webinars, I was just wanted to know like what actually is doing. So
Hmm.
finally it was very much interesting, and I mean it was like so interesting, and I really wanted to give myself a try into it actually as a last attempt. So all those videos were like so helpful, and his thought process was something different with other consultancies working here. So that is it actually. So that actually gave me an additional confidence to just work with them and to start with EduVisa.
Okay, that's amazing. And did you work with any other consultancies in past? So, what I understand that we discussed till now, you were applying for past 2 years in Canada, and you received three rejections in this, meantime in past 2 years for your Canada visa, and you were working with some other consultancy. So, what were the challenges you faced during those three rejections?
Totally, I worked with 3 to 4 consultancies. So the first consultancy, I don't want to mention them, but they did a good job actually. But he was so dedicated and also he was helping me out. But he doesn't know the exact nuances of how to get through this Canadian visa. He was not regulated actually, but he did his job well. But unfortunately, as my profile was so challenging, it didn't went through, but he also has some good results actually. So then I had a failure, so it was a big disaster, and it just become so hard for me to second time. I mean, for the second time to just again apply through it. So I did not make any big changes to the profile other than SOP. It was through the
Hmm.
same college and the same course. So it was straight 3 attempts with the last attempt I did for myself, and the second attempt is actually through another consultant. So it was the same for me, and finally it didn't went through. That's it, like the bottom line.
So,
And I didn't
what
work with the right
difference?
people.
That is true, working with the right people and the right people helping you makes the whole different point, and the results are completely different. So, what was your experience like with EduVisa services? You got to work with Raghavendra, who is Government of Canada approved consultant, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. So, what was the difference of the experience that you had in these two different approaches?
Okay. So coming up with the local consultancies, which is situated near my in my city, is actually the number of students they take is actually big. So I'm one among them. It was not dedicated actually. I would say it's a process actually. They do not know the nuances of the process and they do not know the details of the how the Canadian visa officers works, or like how it should be tailored, or it should be dedicated, or like yeah, it's the key is SOP I would say here. And also the documentation which we use actually they are doing in their own way, because they have the like own level of understanding other than following a standard procedure. Even now, it's actually a myth for me to like overall throughout this process, it's completely a myth for me to till now I don't know like how it actually works. Actually, how is documentation? Always Raghavendra says that it should be a lean profile, but yeah, it actually works here. But they would like keep the certificates and everything not in place or like not in order actually. It was like what they know actually, so that how they works actually, and also reaching out to them over a time is actually so hard. So there are like few dedicated there were like counselors assigned to me, so they are not so, I mean, they're doing the job good, okay, but they're not like dedicated, like they're just doing the job actually. They do not
Right.
understand the seriousness of students actually, what they're like going through with the money and time, because you would have taken education loan and they'll be paying interest so much. I mean, they do not understand the seriousness of what we are going through and our mindset actually. So it is such like something different, and they gave me such hope that I can like break through on this. It is a bounce back for me to getting this Canadian visa actually. So
That
here the
is that
counselors
is
are, yeah, yeah, the counselors are very dedicated and they do understand the seriousness of what each students are going through. And even after working hours, if I had a doubt, I can just reach out to them and they can help me. And also, if they are going for a break or like if they're taking off, they'll give me an heads up that like before they might give me an heads up that not working tomorrow. If you have any serious questions or any doubts, they would assign me a temporary counselor who can just help me out with this process. Actually, it was a good thing actually, and yeah, it was a good experience working with them actually. And in the first place, I was so hesitant to work with them because it's completely a remote process where
right.
we can just connect through a telephone or to the max of a video call. That's it actually. So even I was wondering the same, like how it is going to be, or like I'm just going to add this as a failure. So but inside me, I had some hopes that okay, I'm at least I had that hope that I'm just working with the right people. So it was an experiment for me, but it worked out really well actually. So in a way that I'm
You've
trying to
touched
do.
a very right point and a very sensitive point that a lot of students a lot of time are hesitant to work with a remote consultancy. That will it be safe? Is it authenticated? Are they right
Exactly.
people? Right?
Yeah.
The consultancies which are physically located next to you, the best advantage that you feel with a student perspective is that I can anytime go over there. If anything
Exactly.
goes wrong, I can visit them. I can hold them responsible for it. But with a digital consultancy, how am I going to do that? So what are your opinions now, because that's a very valid point with a student perspective. We cannot neglect that kind of the feeling that they have. But right now, what is the difference in before starting and after having the visa approval?
Yeah, after COVID, things are changing actually. We are living in a technological driven world actually. So we have to get adapted to it, and people are not getting, they are not used to it actually. Because as a student, I know that the importance of working here, but my father is okay. Like, he can understand everything like technology, like how things are changing over time actually. But there are like the other houses like parents. I'm not very sure about others actually because they would be so hesitant like working here, paying money with a consultant like who is working abroad actually. So yeah, we have to get adapted to it, and things are changing actually. We have to get adapted to it so that it really worked out for me. So it's all about experiment and getting results out of it. So I would say yes, strongly I would
Absolutely.
recommend.
Absolutely. So, just on a side note, I would like to tell you all over here, is that for you to have that sense of security that you're working with the right people, the
Yeah,
first thing you need to know is that your consultant, even if it's a digital or a offline consultancy you're working with,
exactly,
you should know that your guide, your mentor, is an RCIC, that is a
exactly.
regulated Canadian immigration consultant, right?
Yeah,
And there
yeah,
is a way of confirming whether they are actually an RCIC. So what we are
exactly.
going to do over there is that in the description, I'm going to leave a link for you. This link will take you to a website where you can actually confirm. You can put your the person who's helping you, you can put your guides, your mentor's name and the surname to check whether they are an active RCIC person. So
Absolutely.
this will help you to actually know with a sense of security that yes, you're working with the right people, you're working with the right consultancy, and you would not have that hesitation in your mind. Because be it offline, be it online, the only main thing over here is you work with a government approved consultant. That's it.
Working with other consultancies is that like a dedicated counselors would be, will be associated with me. Like out of them, the process was not very transparent actually. They would say that we have our internal team, like who will be working on your profile, but we really doesn't know that who is that internal team or, or that actual person is that internal team. So it's how
Right.
the whole process is actually. So here it's completely different. We know that Raghavendra is actually the only person who works with it. But to be very honest, till now I did not had a direct conversation with him. So even I tried multiple times asking Aishi, but because I was able to see that there were the different teams working with this EduVisa actually. So like when it comes to SOP, there's another team. So even I actually had a conversation with that right person working
Hmm.
on my profile. So finally, Raghavendra made changes to the final changes were done by Raghavendra sir. So and that final, I could see the changes like there are like different stages which each SOP goes through. But on the
Right.
final stage, I could see that the Raghavendra sir actually works on the papers actually on the PDF actually. So that's where I actually got that confidence that okay, it is with right people and we can actually uh, go ahead, and that's where that small confidence which drives me with EduVisa.
That is true, like we do have a team of counselors helping with the visa, shortlisting, loan process, and an expert team helping with the SOP creation. In spite of having these teams, and after your application has been done by the team, Raghavendra goes through every single piece of
Yeah,
documentation, every piece of SOP, giving his own changes, and only his final approval is when the application goes ahead. And this stamp of validity is what makes the process very different, the success rate for us very different, and the students, even with a difficult profile, we are able to get them through, because it's not about you have so many gap years, you don't have that kind of percentage, you have these many refusals. Yes, there are some hiccups, which is there different hiccups for different profiles, but the way we represent it, the way you show the documents, the way you show your ties to the country, why you're going in this country, will you be coming back over here, why you have selected Canada, and how your profile is going to make a difference with the degree that you're doing. All of these points, when they come together in a very specific and articulated format, that is where it makes a difference,
absolutely.
right?
I agree that actually.
Yes, and this particular small details, this intricate details can only be done by someone who has been through the process multiple times, who has actually, dealt with the SOP on a regular basis. And that is where they can pick up the small things, what is to be shown, what is, how it is to be represented. And, it creates the entire difference, especially you see over here, for Lakshmi, it's been a very different story altogether. So that being said, Lakshmi, I would like to, conclude this entire session with, in your view, how important it is to work with an RCIC compared to an unauthorized agent, and what would be your thought of wisdom for the students who are right now in the process of selecting Canada, applying to the Canada, or waiting for the visa.
Yeah, I would always recommend EduVisa working with RCICA. Like, it is actually a must thing for each and every students to get their visa approved, because there are like back in 2022, maybe like, I would say it's a time actually. So because there were like a lot of students were applying for visa, and also the rejection rates were so high. Like India, I'm not very sure about the numbers. It was like around 60 percentage, 60% profiles were getting rejected. Even a good profile is actually getting rejected. Like, what if in a case like who is making a career transition or like me? So it would be a great struggle for actual students. Each profile is something different, so it's not everybody the same. So we have to make sure that we are working with the right person and the right people. Even if we are actually making mistake, they should ensure that driving us into a right path actually. In a
Absolutely.
case that in a case that working with other consultancies was a bit harder for me, because they would make they would like, getting a college is actually not a big thing. So other parts is actually making a documentation and SOP. So that's where this EduVisa is exclusive for doing that actually. Getting a college is actually not a very big thing for Canada. I'm not very sure about the upcoming years. So currently, till now, it is very easy. I would say it's not like the other countries like US, Australia, and other countries. Getting a college or a university is not a big hassle when it comes to Canada, but getting visa is actually a big thing when it comes to here actually. So, like we have to make sure that that the dedicated person knows everything, and he should know like what the current situation is, and like how is the trend, and what are all the current changes which I mean that IRCC does and everything. So in a point that fortunately I just met Raghavendra sir at the right time. So it was all then I couldn't even imagine that like what would I have been done if I did not met Raghavendra at the right time actually. So, and also I'd like to thank my father as well. Like he was, like, I mean, I'm not very sure about others, because he was so patient, and though he did not had such hopes that I would move abroad, but he was very supportive in a way that when it comes to finance and everything, he was, he said like till the last moment, he was saying that, like I don't mind like how many items, but the end result actually matters a lot. So he
Right.
was very supportive. And It was like, to be very honest, like I literally lost around 3 lakhs in all the miscellaneous cost, education loan and everything. So still, we did not mind that. Actually, I would like to thank him a lot. Actually, so and in other ways, still, till the moment he was asking me, "Did you got this?" Really, okay. That's how he is actually. So, and I would like to thank my friend. He actually ignited me into this process. His name is Balaji. Currently, he's doing his
Absolutely.
PhD. Yeah, he's doing his PhD in Hokkaido. He's visiting very soon. Like in the next month, he'll be in India. He was very happy to hear that I got my visa actually. Yeah, and I would like to thank my father, mother, and my sister, and also she was helping me out. She was helping me out with a lot of process actually. So I would say not all the hard work is actually due to, not all the success is due to hard work, and not all the poverty is due to failure. Actually, it just like doing right thing at the right time and with the right people actually. The right people actually, it has a strong meaning inside it. Working with the right people is actually meeting the right people, working with right people, irrespective of all the hard works. Because I know that the hard work I was doing with through this process, but I'm not working with the right people. So that was a great blunder for me to, I would say. So after all, the pressure on me is less when I work with the right people. I don't have to mind like what they are doing with my profile or
Hmm.
like whatever. I had this confidence that somewhere, even if I did anything mistake on my profile, they can correct me as well. But when I was working with other consultancies, I need to double check, or like I need to make sure that whether they are doing the right thing, or I have to
Correct.
make sure like multiple times. I have to check over and over again, like whether it's going the right way till the end actually. So that is how it was actually. So it was a good thing. It was a good thing, and it feels good actually. Right now, still now, even I couldn't take this ease that I got from this. And yeah, right now I'm in a good mindset actually. It was a
That is
life-changing
great.
experience. Actually, it was a life-changing experience for me, like working with EduVisa, and I wish to continue my other activities and other process with EduVisa, same EduVisa. And I'm anxiously, I really wanted to meet Raghavendra sir, and I would like to know his thought process. And like, actually, I wanted to ask him like what actually he did on my profile and everything else.
That is absolutely great and very, inspiring your journey. The fact that you never gave up.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
EduVisa
very
has
important.
helped you throughout. That is there. We were the right people came along in your journey, but you taking the step of approaching the right people is the
Yeah.
important part. And even after
Yes.
facing so many challenges throughout the past 2 years, you did not give up the hope. Otherwise, it's very easy, even after one refusal, it's very easy to give up on the process, that okay,
Yeah.
that's it, I don't want to go ahead anymore. But having that goal, having that motivation set up for you, and know that this is going to be very an inspiring factor for all the students who are going to go through your story, and who are going to get that motivation. So thank you so much, Lakshmi, for taking out your valuable time today over here for us, and being here, inspiring us, sharing your story with us. And we
Absolutely.
wish you all the best for your entire career. And yes, as you said, we also hope to work with you again for your further immigration process in Canada.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mukta. Thanks for giving this opportunity. And I would like to thank everyone like who was supporting me throughout this process, especially my father and my sister. Like they were helping me out. And I also would like to special thank to my friend. Like he ignited this, the whole thing actually. And also, she was a dedicated counselor, and it was a good
Yes.
experience working with her actually. Irrespective of everything, she helped me out, and she was helping me with everything, choosing the college, university, and each and everything. And also, Raghavendra sir, behind scenes actually. He's the monster here. So he was helping me out with everything,
Yes.
and finally, it feels good that I just got the result. So I'd like to thank him a lot. And if I get a chance that sometimes if you wish or like, I'd like to speak to him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to go ahead and have the same story for you, if you want to know how can you be part of the study in Canada journey and you want to start your journey in the coming intakes, do contact us and make sure you
Absolutely.
take your action steps and you take your journey in your own hand. Thank you so
Yeah,
much and we'll see you soon.